All right, there we go. Gonna turn my video off, and then we're gonna jump straight into it.
Sounds good.
Hi, everyone. Jason here from Camps with Friends. And today I'm very excited to introduce you to Jill from Joyful Creations Studio up in New Haven, Indiana. Say hi, Jill, and tell everyone watching this video, whether it be on YouTube or social media, who you are and why we're talking to you today.
Okay, thank you. This is Jill Hockemeyer. I am founder of Joyful Creations Studio, and it is in New Haven, Indiana, Northeast Indiana. And we exist to instill joy and confidence, inspire creativity, and provide connections and support to families. And we do that through music and art for the whole family.
That's pretty great, Jill. Can you tell us like what does that entail like exactly? Because that was a bit of a mouthful, what you guys do, but for people who've never heard of Joyful Creations before, what does that mean?
Okay, yes, we provide music services and art services to all ages. So we do that with our Kinder Music program, and that is a licensed, accredited program that is developed for children between the ages of 0 and 7 years old. And those children come to a group class with their caregiver, their parent or nanny or grandparent. They do a group class where they learn a lot through music and movement activities. And it's a great way, great multi-sensory approach to learning, really good for brain development and for social and emotional development and their musical development. And it really helps get them a jump start for things to come in preschool and beyond. And then for ages 8 and above, we have individual music lessons in just about anything. We have a team of about 8 educators
Wow.
that give private lessons in all instruments, voice, just about anything. And then we also do group art classes, and we do those by age as well. So we have some really young toddler classes and then some early elementary and teen and adult art classes.
Okay. Um, let's touch on your Kinder Music. That's 0 to 7 years old, right? The group classes and a little bit about
Yes.
the brand of Kinder Music. What did you do before this, and what kind of led you into finding Kinder Music and wanting to provide it as a service?
Absolutely. So I was exposed to music pretty early on in life, and I love it. But all children really love music, and there's lots of different genres of music. But my own children, when I was raising children, I took them to Kinder Music classes, and I had a blast. Watching them get excited about it, and they had a blast, and there were just a lot of benefits to those classes. And Kinder Music is about the process of learning. It's not a performance-based activity. So while a lot of activities for young children in that age range, 0 to 7, are more performance-based,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
want to do recitals and games and things like that. The Kinder Music process is what I really love because you're learning about how your child learns best. And we do that through multisensory activities. And so, no matter what kind of learner your child is, they're going to thrive in Kinder Music because they will use all of their senses in the learning.
That's great. How, talking about these sensory learning experiences, social, emotional learning, how
Hmm.
important is it? Or, I'm sure there's a ton of studies that have been done. How important is it for young kids, especially, to do this in, these sort of modern times?
Absolutely. So, everything you ever needed to know, you learned in kindergarten. I'm sure you're familiar with that term, and there's a book about it and everything. But we teach so many things that I think kind of get skipped over on a regular basis anymore. It's about taking turns and about sharing and about regulating your emotions. That self-regulation is so important. A lot of the things that we do for children in this age, in these days, is more of an instant gratification kind of a thing. And so our children kind of forget how to have patience and wait, and that's just part of the learning process. Also with Steady Beat, there's a lot of research that indicates that children who understand Steady Beat are ahead of their peers when it comes to learning to read, learning some physical activities like bouncing a ball or riding a bike. And so through that Steady Beat process that we use in musical activities, that helps them and translates to all kinds of activities that they're going to do. And again, that self-regulation with emotions. You know, sometimes we get so excited and then, you see children who maybe act out in aggression because they don't know what to do with their emotional ups and downs. But that self-regulation that we practice throughout the class really helps them learn how to deal with emotional highs and lows.
That sounds really great. How long have you folks been open there?
We have been, Joyful Creation Studio has existed for 6 years. And our location that we're currently occupying has been open for about 4.5 years. We moved into a brick and mortar location in 2020. But the Kinder Music program started in 1978.
Oh, wow.
So more than 4 decades of lots and lots of research and development on how children learn best, and our team of really capable professionals of delivering content to families at exactly the right developmental level for the children. There's 7 years worth of curriculum. So every level, whether you're an infant or whether you're a 1-year-old or a 2-year-old, has its own curriculum for that exact age. So it's very relevant to today's young child.
So Kinder Music is a brand on its own, right? And it's probably internationally available.
It is international, yes. It is taught in several countries. I do not know the count of countries,
Yeah.
but I do know there are educators in the Philippines and Guatemala and Canada and Australia and South America, I think Brazil, all over the world.
Oh, wow.
The headquarters is in Greensboro, North Carolina.
Okay. Let's talk a bit about, let's kind of move on then to your private lessons, kids 8 and above. You do music and art, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And as far as the, so you've already mentioned you have, I think you said you have 8 different music instructors.
Yes.
Right. And so they run the kind of gambit of different kinds of instruments. I'm guessing, all the regular stuff, piano, guitar, drums,
Yes.
maybe things like flutes and wind instruments and stuff like that as well.
Yes.
Okay. And what about art? Can you tell me a little bit about your art program?
Sure, yeah. We do some classes for young children. We do some pop-up classes here and there for different sensory things that children like to do with their hands and crafting. And then for the kindergarten age-ish, 4 or 5 years old to age 12, we have some weekly classes that we have a licensed art teacher that comes in a couple times a week. And she does a variety of classes that incorporate different mediums. She might do some 3D learning or some drawing or some painting. She likes to work with clay and different, things that children can use their hands to build. And she usually bases it off of a famous artist, maybe Picasso learning or Van Gogh learning or different artists and what they're famous for. So she might take one of a famous Picasso painting and then have the children learn how to draw and paint in that style. And then we have some adult teachers that teach adult classes. and they might do painting classes, watercolor painting, or they might work more with mosaic tiles kind of things. So just a
Oh, nice.
variety of classes available on our calendar
Yep.
on a regular basis.
Okay, yeah, that's all very cool. Moving on, so these are your sort of youth enrichment programs. Do you do any kind of, for example, summer camps or spring or fall camps, Thanksgiving, Christmas, any of that kind of thing as well?
We do, yes. So seasonally, we hold on the weekend, we might hold a one-time play date for musical play dates. Usually a few times in the fall, a few times in the spring, and then
Uh-huh.
in the summer we do, and also at Christmas time we do some holiday play dates right at the end of the year. And then in the summertime we offer some summer camps. And what we do for those is usually 4 days a week for about 3 hours at a time. We'll have a
Okay.
group of maybe somewhere between 8 and 16 kids, and then they'll get kind of all of those music and art activities throughout those 3 hours. So we'll break the children up in age appropriate groups, and we'll work with one group that's doing music while another one is doing art. We'll have a shared game time and learning time, and then we'll switch and flip flop the ones that did art to start will go to music, so they get all of that in one afternoon, and we'll do that for maybe 4 afternoons a week, a few times over the summer.
Nice.
Mhm.
Pricing wise, what does it cost if a local parent or nanny wants to come and drop into one of your kinder music classes, or maybe your private music lessons? What sort of price range are you kind of looking at?
Right. So let's start with the kinder music
Yep.
classes. If you're coming to a weekly kinder music class, you are enrolled on kind of an ongoing basis. We do it kind of by semester. So you
Hmm.
could start in August and go through December, and those classes are $64 a month.
Okay.
You can, if you don't start right away at the beginning of a semester, you can join in at any time.
Uh-huh.
And then we take a break and start up again in January and do another semester from January to May. And the musical play dates that I mentioned, the seasonal play dates, you can stop in and do one of those. Those are $20 per
Okay.
play date. And with each of those opportunities, you also have access to music on the Kinder Music app. And so, in addition to being here once a week, um, you can listen to the music at home,
Oh, nice.
familiarize yourself with it. The children can listen at home, they learn, and the information, the transfer of information that happens. The parents talk about how, oh yeah, at home we're doing this, as they're listening to the music, because the children remember from week to week.
Yep.
There's a lot of routine and ritual that happens in the classes. And so if we crawled around like cats and mice in class, and then they're
Hmm.
listening at home, they'll get down and crawl around like cats and mice, that pretend play. So that having that access to that information at home is really critical and lets the learning continue all week long.
That's really
And
great.
then with the private lessons, those are most students do a 30-minute lesson, and the 30-minute lessons are $25. So usually they'll come in every week. So if you're talking about 4 times a week or 4 times a month for a lesson, it's going to be about $100 a month for a private 30-minute one-on-one lesson.
That's excellent.
Hmm.
Um, okay, so you're hyper focused with obviously local families, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, if if parents want to find you, whether it be locally on a map or online, how and where do they find you?
So the website is joyfulcreationsstudio.com, and it has a lot of information about the services we offer. One of the services that didn't come up yet in our interview is we do custom birthday parties. So we
Oh,
also
yeah.
can do musical birthday parties or custom art parties. We have one this weekend for a little girl who's turning 9, and she had a theme in mind, and so we work with that theme, and we're doing her drawing and painting in the theme that she wanted. So
Excellent.
those are fun. We can do those in studio or on location. And we also have Facebook, Joyful Creation Studio, for music and art, and Instagram as well, Joyful Creation Studio on Instagram.
Nice. And then, so locally, you just want to throw out your location address?
Yes, 10848 Rose Avenue, and we're in Suite 5 of a professional building, and that's in New Haven, Indiana. We also offer a satellite class location on Getz Road in Fort Wayne. So we're on the east side and on the west side of Fort Wayne.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, Jill, that's been super informative. It's been great learning more about your business. Obviously, parents can find you now on campswithfriends.com as well. And very soon they'll be finding you on the brand new campswithfriends.com/New Haven page, which we're very excited to be launching pretty soon.
Wonderful.
And so yeah, thank you so much for sharing this time with me. It's been great learning about you and your passion project. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. I'm going to hit stop recording, and then we can carry on the conversation after that.
Okay, thank you.